You know what they say, it's dangerous to go alone. Name's Dave with WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Legend of Zelda companions. For this list we'll be looking at the most interesting and useful partners Link has ever taken on an adventure, whether they be animals or more fleshed out sidekicks. Number 10. Ricky, The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. There are several useful companions in these Game Boy Color classics. Dimitri the Dodongo can swim through rough waters. Moosh the Flying Bear can hover over pits. But the best of these three have to be Ricky, the boxing kangaroo. Trust me, I know a thing or two about these things. Ricky has the ability to jump over holes and scale tall walls, but it's combat where he shines the brightest. Not only can he box an enemy's ears, but he can also wind up and fire a tornado. Comparatively, Dimitri merely bites and Moosh ground pounds. Plus, how adorable does Link look riding around in Ricky's pouch? Accurate kangaroo anatomy be damned, you do not want to know what's inside those things. Number 9. Fi, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. You wouldn't think a spirit confined to a sword for thousands of years would be the most personable companion. And well, you'd be kinda right. But once you get used to Fi's android-like behavior and dialogue, she can actually be pretty useful. She can provide insight regarding certain items and characters to help Link find his way. Fi grows more personal over the course of the game, resulting in one of the most touching yet heart-wrenching scenes in Zelda history. Players will forever think of her whenever they pick up this iconic weapon. Number 8. Oppon. When you think animal companions in video games, Oppon is often the first to come to mind, and for good reason. She carried Link literally through some of the franchise's biggest stepping stones, from adventuring through Hyrule Fields to thrilling horseback combat. She was quite helpful on the N64, giving Link a speed boost and letting him reach new areas. And while their bond was the strongest in Twilight Princess, the most useful version of her is in Breath of the Wild. You have your own Link amiibo to get her, but she comes with max bond, speed, strength, and stamina. And when you register her at a stable, the stableman calls her the Horse of Legends. You gotta respect the classics. Number 7. Wolflink, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's another unfortunate case of needing an amiibo, but it's one well worth having. Scanning this special amiibo, which came packaged with Twilight Princess HD, lets Wolflink travel on your adventure. He'll attack any enemy and hunt wild game on sight, letting Link preserve weapons and resources. Plus, he'll automatically teleport to you if you get too far away. His health depends on how many hearts players had left after completing the Caves of Shadows in Twilight Princess HD. But no matter how strong your Wolflink is, he'll fill in the hole of a travel companion, which is one of the only things Breath of the Wild was missing. Number 6. Princess Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. It isn't too often players get to team up with the franchise's legendary namesake, let alone control her. As such, this DS title makes for a rather momentous occasion. As her spirit was separated from her body by the dastardly Chancellor Cole, Zelda joins Link in order to reclaim it. This could have very easily been another adventure about rescuing a damsel in distress, but Zelda plays a much bigger role. Within the Tower of Spirits, Zelda can possess armored enemies called phantoms. This makes it interesting to return to the tower throughout the game, as controlling Zelda lets you solve a variety of puzzles. She's still scared of rats, which is a tad regressive, but it's still pretty cool to have her alongside you for the whole game. Number 5. The Crimson Loft Wing, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. With an overworld set in the clouds, Nintendo knew they couldn't include Epona for this Wii entry, but what they gave us made exploring the skies much more exciting than riding around on horseback. Link's Crimson Loft Wing, the rarest form of the creature, is controlled using the Wii's motion controls, and honestly, plunging down from incredible heights never gets old. Although every student in the Knights Academy gets a Loft Wing, Link has a special connection with his. He was able to ride his companion at an early age with no instruction. A lack of content in the overworld is one of Skyward Sword's most frequent criticisms, but the simple joy of controlling the Loft Wing certainly helped make up for it. Number 4. Tattle, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Navi's annoying nature is one of the most referenced aspects of Ocarina of Time, which is why she's not on this list. But Tattle, on the other hand, this fairy that succeeded her, makes for a much more pleasant and complex companion. Majora's Mask excels at subverting expectations of what a Zelda adventure entails, and your sidekick is no exception. Once a friend to Skull Kid, she reluctantly joins Link in order to find her brother. In fact, when they first meet, she helps the Skull Kid rob and transform Link. But on their journey, the strong-willed Tattle begins to open up and regret her actions. She feels a responsibility for the Skull Kid's descent into villainy and the well-being of his soon-to-be victims. Plus, she has all the usefulness of Navi without pestering you every few minutes. Number 3. Ezlo, The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. So useful is the ability this companion grants Link that the entire game was named after him. Once one of the Picori of the Master Vadi, Ezlo was transformed into a hat by his former pupil. In order to regain his form and stop the power-hungry antagonist, he teams up with Link. Most of the game revolves around shrinking down to size to explore new areas and complete dungeons. Not only is this an interesting way to open up the game's world, but Ezlo is just as incredibly entertaining. At times sarcastic and crotchety, Ezlo brings more genuine laughs than any companion before him, and he offers a nice origin story, explaining why Link always seems to wear a floppy green hat. Number 2. The King of the Red Lions, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. The concept of a flooded Hyrule is always intriguing, but it's this knowledgeable companion who guides Link and helps the player to understand this new world. While he is a bit serious compared to other companions, the King of the Red Lions is still a source of comfort. He can give Link hints in dungeons via the Pirate's Charm, and he helps you stay one step ahead of Ganon through his familiarity with the world locations. But he further distinguishes himself with the bombshell reveal that he is in fact the King of Hyrule from long ago, and the first time we've ever physically seen him in the Legend of Zelda series. This tragic backstory, coupled with his expressiveness, makes him far more fleshed out than any other companions, and his sacrifice and hopeful wish for Link and Zelda is enough to elicit tears. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Midna, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Midna is an endlessly helpful companion, eventually able to teleport Link around Hyrule and let him transform into a wolf at will. And when it comes to personality, well, there's simply no topping her. The Queen of the Twilight Realm ventured to Hyrule to stop Zant, who transformed her into her impish form. She's a bit rough around the edges, full of sass, and seems to take sinister delight in Hyrule's current state. But Midna's guard eventually comes down, and she's revealed to have a strong heart and a deep love for her people. Plus, her personal conflict with Zant as it elevates him as a villain in kind. Honestly, Twilight Princess is just as much her story as it is Link's, if not more so. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.